This question that I'm answering is in response to a problem from section 10.4 in the textbook, which is hypothesis testing for population standard deviation. And I'm doing problem number 2 from the homework. The trickiest part about doing these problems where we're looking for population standard deviation is to remember when you're using StatCrunch that StatCrunch deals with variance instead of standard deviation, and the variance is the square of the standard deviation. So we have to adjust things as we go. So we're going to open StatCrunch for this problem. It's just giving us things to plug in to StatCrunch. So let's go ahead and do that. So standard deviation and variance go together. So we're going to do stat variance stats, and we don't have data, but it is one sample. So we say one sample with summary. Okay. So again, they're asking for variance. We're not given variance. We're given standard deviation. So here, if the sample standard deviation is determined to be 22.1, compute the test statistics. So I got to pull out my calculator, and I need to square 22.1 to put it into StatCrunch. 488.41 is my sample variance. Then my sample size is given, that's the n, it's 29. Now we're doing a hypothesis test. Notice this says sigma squared, and here we're asked to do a hypothesis test with sigma. So I have to square this. So 30 squared is 900. So we want to do equals 900 or less than 900. And we want to calculate these various things. So we're told that it's normally distributed, which is a requirement to be able to do this analysis with the chi-square. So compute the test statistic. So let's fill out the rest of this. We're going to show our critical value. Does it ask us what our level of significance? Yes, so we're given that alpha, our level of significance, is 0.05. So we make sure that's 0.05. And then we hit compute. Okay, so here's all of our data that we're going to just use for this problem. So it asks for the sample test statistic. So in this, our test statistic is our chi-square stat. So our chi-square stat is 15.19. So that's part A. Part B, find the p-value. So the p-value is right there, 0.0237, because we put in our alpha's level of significance. 0.05, that actually doesn't matter. We're comparing our p-value to that level. And will we reject the null hypothesis? So we're trying to figure out how the p-value compares to the level of significance. And since it is less than our level of significance, we reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternative hypothesis, so that our population standard deviation is less than 30. Okay, I hope this helps.